So I got two riders. I got rider A, rider B. Rider A has more maximum lean angle, meaning that if you were to take a picture of rider A, they would win Instagram. You know, they would have more lean angle, right? Rider B has less maximum lean angle. Rider B is able to get through the same radius faster. How? Same bike, same line roughly, same body position. So how can you get through the same line faster with less maximum lean angle? Basically, rider B has more average lean angle, right? So if you're, like I said, if you just take a picture of them, rider A would be leaning the bike more, rider B would be leaning it less. But since rider B is getting through the radius faster, we have to assume rider B is leaning the bike more, and he is. So how do you get greater average lean angle while having less maximum lean angle? Transitions, right? So I'm going to exaggerate this for effect. Here's rider A. Up, right? This is kind of what I call like the lean and pray technique of riding that you see a lot of new riders do. And then here's rider B, again, exaggerating for effect. Right? So not leaning it as far, but because you got to your lean angle earlier, you were able to get through the radius faster. So let's talk about this, the advantages and the disadvantages of this. So the advantages are you get through the turn faster, you're able to get on the gas earlier, and you're doing it with less risk because you're not leaning the bike as far. So what's a disadvantage? What's the disadvantage of coming up to the turn and just giving it a nice, sharp, hard counter steer in? Or a disadvantage or a hypothetical disadvantage, like why aren't you doing it?
It's not smooth.
Not smooth. Worst case scenario.
Catches in high side.
Yeah, catches in high side. So we're gonna look at that. The reason you're not coming up to the turns and hugging it down and flicking it this way and flicking it that way is because it's freaky, right? But when we talked about how many people low-sided, almost everybody's low-sided. If we were to go in our time machine and go back in time and give you a faster transition into that turn, you wouldn't have had to lean the bike as much, and which is less risk. I'm not saying you wouldn't have low-sided, but there's a very good chance that you wouldn't have low-sided in that exact same scenario. So the advantages are faster, safer, earlier gas. The disadvantages don't exist. So in short, go do it. In my opinion, this is what really separates fast riders from like really fast riders. And if you ever ridden with somebody who's like dragging their knee every turn, but they're still super slow, and you're like, how can you be this slow, right? Like, or you look at somebody else who looks like they're not really doing much at all, but they're hauling ass. It is almost always due to transitions. If you ever show me anybody who is fast transitions, smooth, good lines early on the gas, those people are fast. It's that simple. And none of that's sexy. None of that is backing it in, dragging peg, crossed up wheelies, you know, through it, which is, all those things are awesome, but they're not what you need to go fast. So just, this is a perfect example where people are kind of focused on the wrong stuff, meaning body position a little bit, but leaning the bike a lot. And I'd rather you not focus on leaning the bike, I'd rather you focus on go out there and not like, just go out there and work on fast transitions. And what you should be able to find is that you'll be able to get on the gas a lot earlier, and you'll be putting in faster lap times just by the means of putting in a faster turn-in. The best advice I ever got in Supermoto was it's all about getting the turn over with fast so you can get back on the gas. And this is probably the best tool. Also the body position, being on top of the bike and be able to flick it from side to side, be able to recover from the slide. So the combination of a foot out body position and conscious fast transitions are the best tool for getting the turn done with and on the gas, as opposed to leaning the bike, hanging out a long time with the bike leaned over and trying to rail speed through the turn.